All right, ladies, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Jenny DeCastris.
And I'm Melissa King.
And we are from Nature's Carpet. Nature's Carpet is a division of Colin Campbell and Sons. Colin Campbell has been a long-time Vancouver-based wool, carpet, and area rug distributor since the 1960s, I believe. And about 7 years ago was acquired by the ownership team of Keith Donagany and Harvey Burrett. And that's when Melissa and I came on board and have been loving working with Nature's Carpet and the Colin Campbell family ever since. So I'm the distribution sales manager, and the lovely Melissa King is our representative here in the Greater Vancouver area. So those of you in the Greater Vancouver area will have seen her lovely face in the past 6-7 months since she started there. And before that, she was servicing our Eastern United States clientele, but of course with COVID, that can no longer happen.
Kept me a little bit more local.
That's right. Anyhow, we're pleased and thrilled to have Melissa join us locally. And then for those of you in other parts of the province, you will know our industry veteran, the lovely JP Jeeper Christensen, who represents in the interior and on the island and in the valley and other parts outside of Greater Vancouver. So yes, exactly. If you need any contact information for Melissa or Jeeper in the province, don't hesitate to reach out. You can email info@naturescarpet.com or just give us a call at the office. So we're going to start out with a little bit of Wool 101, as we like to call it. So Melissa, do you want to?
Absolutely, yes. We want to talk about why choose wool. Wool is a natural fiber. It really does set the bar for all other carpets and has advantages that synthetic carpets can't match. I
was just going to say it's the original carpet fiber, and it is so for a reason. It has been we've been enjoying it on our floors for centuries in the form of area rugs, and we're just so pleased to be able to provide a product that in today's age that is a healthy option, as wellness, especially in this past year, is at the forefront of everybody's minds and in the building and design.
Absolutely, yes. One of the great things about wool is that it has a natural crimp, and that crimp creates tiny little pockets where air gets trapped, and so it acts as an ideal insulator. So yeah, that is one of the advantages of wool, one of many.
And also with the natural crimp of a wool fiber, it also allows the fiber to bounce back more readily to its original shape. And so it doesn't wear the same way that a synthetic carpet would. It can keep its original appearance for longer because of that ability of the wool fiber to bounce back.
Any furniture indentations can be removed with a little bit of steaming. So
exactly,
it's not a permanent dent.
After you do steam clean your wool carpet, it will fluff them up and have them looking brand new again. So we might get that a little bit later in care and maintenance, but with some synthetic carpets, once the traffic is there and they're matted down, it doesn't go away. But with wool, with a steam clean, you can easily fluff it back up, and it's looking back up. Looking like new again. So
another great characteristic of wool is that it is naturally stain resistant. The wool fiber itself has a protective membrane on each of the fibers, so it doesn't really allow for water to penetrate into the carpet.
I think there's a common misconception out there that wool is difficult to clean and care for, and that simply just isn't the case. So yeah, as Melissa said, the membrane, which is lanolin, protects from anything getting into the actual carpet fibers, and it can be clean.
Yeah, if the sooner you get to it, the better. But another great thing about the wool fiber is it has overlapping scales on each of the fibers. So it sort of allows the dust to kind of sit at the surface so you can vacuum it away really easily.
Exactly. And if you do, ideally you're attending to a stain right away when it's wet. And as Melissa said, the liquid won't penetrate into the fibers. It'll sort of pool on top. It might look like it's seeping in, but if you grab paper towel or a cotton cloth and blot it up right away, it will lift out. And someone was telling us the other day that there was a stain on a client's carpet that had been there for dried and been there for a couple of months, and they just used the detail spot cleaner that
That's
we
right. It's
recommend.
the mineral-based carpet details we call it.
And the stain came right out.
And it did, yeah. It was, I think it was chocolate, like dark chocolate in a light colored carpet, and that's been there for a while. So, and it came out with that. So it is possible.
The sunshine has joined us.
It is, yeah.
It's
shining down on us.
Okay, so we kind of were just saying that wool is easy to clean and care for. So along with spot cleaning, really it's easy to maintain overall. You really just need a professional steam clean once a year or every 18 months or when it's dirty. And that's it. Don't go renting, your rug doctor carpet cleaner from Safeway. Just a simple professional steam clean. You don't need any chemicals or detergents. Just hot water extraction will do the job beautifully.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about vacuums for a minute.
Yeah,
yes.
Great idea.
Because with wool carpet, another characteristic is that it will, shed a little bit in the beginning stages after it's been installed. So your canister will fill up a little bit faster in the first little bit.
Some people are afraid, if there's some shedding fibers fill their canister, oh my gosh, my carpet's going bald.
No, that's not true. No, it's just a natural characteristic of wool.
And it will reduce over time.
Yeah. We've listed a vacuum that we've tested on our carpets that we love. It's called the SoniClean Soft Carpet Series. It has a really soft bristle beater bar on there, and we've tested it, and it has the right amount of suction. Some of the other vacuums out there have too strong of a suction. So you want a beater bar that's gonna kind of pick up all of the fibers
without buzzing the carpet pile itself. So the great thing about the SoniClean vacuum, and by the way, our care and maintenance guide is downloadable on our website, so easily accessible.
And it's in some stores as well in the Nature's Carpet display. So, and it lists all of the wonderful things that we're talking about.
It does.
Including vacuums.
That's right. And so they're making some vacuums these days that have really abrasive bristles on the rotating brush. And so that can really, it's good for picking up the dirt, but it'll fuzz the carpet pile. So that's why the SoniClean vacuum is it's the one that we've tested that we can recommend because we know it will not fuzz the carpet pile. I think that's
but just if you have any questions, obviously just email us and we'll help answer all of those.
Oh, I know what I want to say. Some people believe that suction only is what you want for a vacuum because of the danger of having a rotating brush fuzz the carpet, but you do actually need a rotating brush to pick up the shedding fibers.
It's like a soft rake, if you will. When you think about raking leaves out.
Remember the old shag carpet rake?
Yes.
Like Keith always talks about they had like some of their chores were to rake the shag carpet in the
Fluff it out.
I know, those were the days.
So another answer to why I choose wool is that it is environmentally friendly and sustainable. It's a renewable resource. So, I mean, right there, you're not,
you're making a kind of an ethical decision for your home, for the planet. Again, wellness is at the forefront of our minds. And one of the great benefits of our carpet being environmentally friendly is that we have environmental certifications for it that shows that they are They've been tested and certified for low VOC emissions.
And we have these certificates for all of our carpets. So sorry, the sun's sort of shining on there and hopefully it's not too much of a glare, but we can provide you with those for those that require them for maybe a project or for your own personal knowledge.
Exactly.
We're very transparent and we want to be able to provide you with a healthy option, and we have the certificate to prove it. So.
Some of you might work with builders, or some of you might be designers who from time to time work on LEED projects. So one great thing about our carpets holding these certifications is that they are great options for LEED credits. Quite often, or I believe LEED will require CRI Green Label certification. We are CRI Green Label compliant, but because we certify with the same type of standard in Europe and New Zealand, we don't also pay to have the CRI certification. And so for LEED projects, you would just apply to have the GOOT or the Australian Carpet Institute certificate recognized in the place of the CRI Green Label certificate, and that they have no problem with that. Yeah. Actually, I believe the European standard is a little bit more strict and stringent than the CRI Green Label.
Allergies?
Oh, yes, allergy season is upon us. However, you won't be experiencing any types of allergies with, many people actually think that you can be allergic to wool.
And I think it tends to be more of like a skin sensitivity than anything. The wool fiber is too long. You can't inhale that.
Studies, the research and the research that we've done has shown that there are, I don't think, any known true wool allergies in the world. And if so, they're very rare. My husband also, same thing. He said, he's like, oh, I was allergic to wool as a kid. And I was like, I don't think you were. I think you had really sensitive skin. And, you know, sometimes wool products can feel scratchy.
Yeah, depending on the type of wool and whatnot. But
wool carpet acts as a natural air filter in your home. And there also is that common misconception that
carpet's bad for allergies because of dust and whatnot, when it actually traps all the dust and allergens in the air into your carpet, and then you vacuum them up, where sometimes with other surfaces, it kind of just floats around. And
there's nowhere for the dust to go sometimes with hard surface.
Yeah, so that's what I thought back in the day.
Me too. Like, you think that hard surfaces is better for allergy sufferers, but in fact, the research has disproven that. And having the air filter properties of the carpet is really beneficial to people who suffer from allergies, like myself.
Yes.
Another fun fact, this is one of our favorites, wool is naturally flame retardant. You don't need any added flame retardant chemicals added to the carpets because
there's a high moisture content in wool itself. So it self-extinguishes. We did a little demo when I started, and I got to see that it actually goes out on its own. And if there's any sort of charring, it can be brushed away.
Exactly. And for that reason, we sell a carpet. It's not in our regular line, but to all of the Canadian Navy ships, because it has a marine certification. It is for being safe for use on ships. And the other thing about wool having the high moisture content is that it is kind of like an indoor air humidity regulator. Yeah. So it adds it can release a bit of moisture into the air if the air is dry, or if it's too humid in the room, it'll absorb it.
And then be released later when that climate is sort of leveled off a little bit. So
it's pretty magical.
It really is.
Big fans.
We're big fans of wool over here. We just want to talk briefly too about our carpets in general and how we've sort of categorized our carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Nature's Carpet is known for having that completely chemical-free natural carpet. We've created this sort of green spectrum that we've put all of our carpets in, from dark, medium to light green. So we're just going to talk briefly about that before any questions. All of our carpets that are in the dark green spectrum are all undyed wools. They all have a natural jute backing. There's no moth-proofing treatment added to these carpets, as well as the adhesive is a natural rubber from the rubber tree.
Let's talk about moth-proofing for a second. So we are really transparent about everything that goes into our carpets. Most wool carpets on the market are going to contain some kind of insecticide or moth-proofing treatment for obvious reasons. Moths love to eat wool. We just talk about it probably more, that so people say, oh, you have insecticide chemicals in some of your carpets, but this is the case for almost all wool carpets, except for the ones who are in this dark green category producing chemical-free products. So just wanted to have a quick note on that.
Yeah.
And also for our dark green carpets that are not treated with any insecticides, we get questions about is there a danger of what are the dangers of infestation or insect damage?
Yeah, we've never really had any sort of claims on infestation. We just want to really set that standard that you do have to vacuum regularly, especially underneath your furniture, in the backs of closets, where moths like to eat all your nice sweaters and hats and jackets. Personal experience. So yes, and screens on windows, depending on where you are. If it's like heavily forested,
don't keep your doors open all the time.
That's right. But if there is, it might be a little bites here and there.
In the corner.
Yeah.
In the corner of your closet.
Dark
really
areas.
Notice. Yeah.
But just general maintenance, keeping up with all the vacuuming and everything. The sun's really shining down on me right now.
Lovely.
I know.
So for the medium and light green carpets that do contain an insecticide treatment, all of those carpets are still certified for low emissions.
It's like don't we have the highest rating for low VOC emissions?
We do, even in the light green category where some of the carpets are dyed or synthetic backing, that kind of thing. Everything is certified for low emissions. So no matter what, you're getting a natural wool product that is
really going to last you a lot longer than some of the other carpets out there. It's safe for humans, your babies, your furry pets. It's just with that insecticide, the moths can't metabolize
it. And do you want to say what the chemical is, the insecticide?
Yeah, it's called permethrin, and it's actually a synthetic derivative of the chrysanthemum plant. Jenny and I recently learned that actual chemical is used on a lot of outdoor clothing for ticks and whatnot. So if it's put in clothing that you actually wear, and it's also in such a small quantity in our carpets,
I don't think it's not detectable, but
Oh.
and it also hasn't been known to be harmful to humans,
No.
as you mentioned. So all good things.
Yes.
I really, we can't stress the benefits of wool carpet enough. We should talk about our underpad options.
We certainly are going to talk about our underpad options. One of them here is called Nature's Felt. I'm just going to show it up. It doesn't pull off. This is made special for us in the UK. It's 100% virgin sheep's wool, no chemicals whatsoever. So obviously a great pairing for any, natural carpet to go on top, but also adds that extra layer of insulation as well, which a lot of people love. So
for the customer looking for all natural, yes, it is a really great option. And you can't say enough, like
dark green.
Yeah, dark green. That's
dark
right.
green category.
Chemical free.
Yes.
And then
the other option is, I'm just going to see if I have another sample here. It's called Durcoustic. This is a Canadian made product that we distribute, and it is, it lands in our light green category. It might not be for every single natural carpet customer, but it does have a great recycle story. It's made with recycled rubber tires. So instead of those tires being in a landfill, they're providing extra cushion underneath your feet.
it looks different on here because it's facing the other way.
This is the way that it would be installed, is rubber side down and paper side up. So that right there, installers love. It slides right over. But also the rubber side will be down on the substrate. So we've never had any complaints whatsoever about any off-gassing or whatnot. But it has a great acoustic rating. It's good for both residential and commercial applications, and fantastic on stairs. Fantastic everywhere, but on stairs
as well. Yeah, it really will stand the test of time because it's so tough. Something.
And it is, Green Label Plus certified as all of our.
Oh, I know. A fun fact about it is that it's because it holds that acoustic rating. Some builders actually use the Duracoustic as a sound barrier underneath subfloor, on a second level or something underneath the subfloor as a sound barrier. But when you have it on top of the subfloor and underneath your carpet, again, it will act as a great sound insulator. And it provides a really nice level of cushion.
It's not like memory foam where you're going to see your foot marks, in it, but it does have a nice cushion to it. So those are the two underpads that we carry along with all of our other carpets.
We also provide complimentary swatch service. So we understand, lots of people are working from home right now. We love being able to provide complimentary swatches. You can order them on our website, or you can email melissa@naturescarpet.com. If you ever if you're a designer, or if you have anybody or customers that want to see our products, but they don't want to come to the showroom at the moment.
More than happy to create them to you.
And everything is stocked here at our warehouse in Vancouver. So that's the other great benefit of, for all of you BC folks.
Nice and local.
We're nice and local. You can come and pick up your orders at our warehouse, or, when we ship them to you, they don't take more than a day or two. So all good stuff. I think we're about ready for questions.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate your presentation, and the natural banter it's very engaging. So thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick scan and encourage people to put a question in the chat or the Q&A, or in the raising their hand in the attendee section, so we can have a microphone turned on and speak the question. We have a question. Here we go. This is a question from Jen. Do you find that Berber or cut pile carpet is more popular in the market? Do you know what the percentage is?
I can't say what the percentage is. In our market, it's loop style carpet is more popular.
That is more popular. We do still get asked for cut piles.
We do have 2 cut piles in our collection. In terms of the carpet market in general, like all wool and synthetic, I don't know what the percentage is, but I will say in our category of carpets, loop style is definitely more popular. Yeah. But I'm going to hold this up. So this is a beautiful undyed cut pile.
Called Bell Tower Plush. It comes in 3 colors, and 3 natural colors.
And again, with a wool cut pile, you're not going to see indentations from the traffic as much because of the spring quality of the wool fiber. Exactly. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. And one thing that you can't really demonstrate in video is just how soft it just looks so soft.
Very soft, very, yes, luxurious and warm under your feet.
It is, and some of the softness of some people do, find some wools to be scratchy, but that, it depends on the quality of the yarn. And we do use yarns and wool carpet producers, manufacturers that have some of the highest quality yarns in the world. So it does come out feeling very soft and silky.
Excellent. Okay, so now we will just do another scan for questions and see if there
aren't any questions. I have one other thing that I wanted to mention. Is that okay, Susan?
Please go ahead.
Some people believe that wool isn't for them because of the price tag. And we offer a huge range of options. We think there's something for everybody. We've sort of done our best to create a line that has some really affordable price points, entry level starting points for wool, as well, all the way up to the high end. But people who believe that that wool is not affordable, it's just not the case.
Yeah, so like Jenny said, we can meet pretty much every budget usually, and
we really want people to be able to afford, you know, a natural product for their
it's going to
home.
last. It really is going to last.
And that's the other thing about wool, is because of its durability, you know, if someone is comparing sort of apples to apples, like, oh, why is this one more expensive than this one? It also is because of how long lasting wool can be, that you're making an investment where your wool carpet is going to last 10, 15, 20 years, sometimes 30 years, and you're not replacing it again in 5 to 10 years. So.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, so now I'm just going to do another quick check and see if there's any other questions. And check the attendee list and see if there's any raised hands. And I will see if, oh, here we go. One moment. Here is a question from Paul. And Paul, you can turn on your microphone.
Hi, I was just curious. I know from previous experience with wool carpet that it can be tricky on the installation and require some specialized equipment as well for seaming and such and stretching. Within the different areas, do you guys have a list of recommended installers that you provide at all for installation of wool carpets?
That's a great question. We would have to come back to you on that. We don't have a list handy. Generally speaking, what we do recommend to customers, hopefully the retailers of our products do have installers available to them that have some experience with wool carpet. The installers that we know of, the owners of our company also have a retail business and that does install, and the installers love working with it. Installers that know how to install it, and we do recommend the Cool Glide seaming system. But if your installers don't have Cool Glide, you know, the good old-fashioned seaming iron and tape does work. You know, I guess the most important thing is just to remember about direction and, you know, making sure that when you're seaming, you know, it's a carpet installation 101, I guess you can do the paper test with the pencil and so on. But I really don't think it's that much different.
I don't think it's that much different, no.
Okay, and but there is specific instructions that can be provided from Nature's Carpet for installation?
We do have a few recommendations, yes. So we could email those to you offline once maybe we can get your contact information.
Yeah, no, I'm more asking for the group than myself. So.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Anybody that needs some sort of tips and tricks for wool installation, we do have a list. I'm not an installer, so I don't want to, you know, give, but I, you know, something called the snap test, and you want to, and something about, you know, how kicking the carpet. I'm sorry, I'm not sounding like I know my stuff because I'm not an installer, but we do have recommendations.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Okay, and I just do another quick check to see if there are any other final questions. Okay, well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.